Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Wednesday, May the 29th, 2017. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market. Then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. We do create four main hypotheses. This is not to hedge our bets and say that we called the market. This is simply to have a plan in place. Nobody can tell you what the market's going to do. Yesterday was a very good example of that. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But we take a look at the scenarios, put a plan together, and then based on what the market is doing, then we can see what plan best adapts to the market, and then we can execute on that plan without having to formulate that trade plan on the fly in the heat of battle. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There is no website. There's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do this live in the go-to during the pre-market session, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a, whoops, where's my disclaimer? Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So let's take a quick look at the news. We do have news today. I can find my news. All right, so at 9:20 we have another Fed member speaking. We've had a Fed member speaking every day this week, coming into next week, which is the Fed minutes. So they can always say something that could cause the market to move. 10 o'clock we've got pending home sales, and then we have 10:30 Eastern, we have crude oil, and that'll be the big one for the day. Still pretty light news week this week. Take a look at yesterday. Now, yesterday, our main hypothesis was an open auction in range, a failure to break out, or no, I'm sorry, the main hypothesis was a move down to find buyers and then rotate up and get continuation. It was hypo 4 and hypo 3, I'm sorry, hypo 2 and hypo 4. I'll get this straight. I know that. Hypo 2 was an open auction in range and moved down to find buyers, somewhere in around the 31, 32, and then rotate up and chop around in the 50 area, the 51 area. That was our main target for hypo 2. Hypo 4 was a continuation trend day and a move up into the 57 area, the weekly ATR upside target. And hypo 4 was what we got. Now, I did not trade this well yesterday. We called this trade right here to take the breakout. I was waiting for them to put the double top in the at the IB and then pull back and let me get long for the break. I always like to be able to get in and get funded before the break. They didn't give me the pullback, therefore they popped it on me and I missed it. And at that point in time, I still wasn't thinking trend day, so I started shorting the 47s. Said I was going to short 47s and add up and add on up into the 50-50 area, and I did that. I was able to actually make a little bit of money on that trade, but then they just kept on stair-stepping it up, and then we went sideways for hours until we got the closing swing push. This is just basic profit trading. Now, the one thing I didn't realize yesterday, and it clued into me, and I made a note about this in my journal. Again, we were talking about journaling yesterday, so I made a large note about the fact that yesterday was what they call T-3. And what it is yesterday was the last day to buy equities for settlement at month end. So, to me, the move was made with the hedge funds and the mutual funds buying equities to be able to have them booked and settled. I guess you have to buy them 3 days before the settlement for them to count for their month end. And I wasn't really aware of that, and I was actually listening to a Dalton webinar last night, and he was talking about it. And I said, yeah, I was thinking in terms of the end of month, but that certainly was something I didn't realize, that they had to buy 3 days before the month settling. Anyway, I did make money yesterday. Just could have been a bigger day. The problem with trend days is that if you don't catch the trend earlier, it's hard to get in long without just holding your breath, because there's not a lot to lean against. The best trade of the day, okay, that we should have taken was this impulse wave here, which was a 9-point impulse wave up into the 4150, and then the pullback to the mid. You would have taken a little bit of heat on it, but the mid trade was the trade to get long and then just stay long all day long. That's the way it goes. Trend days are my worst days, because I'm very much a reversion to the mean type trader, because that's the way the market generally trades most of the time. Yesterday, trend days, if I catch them early and I'm in on them, it's great. If I don't, I just have to fight that trend, and it makes for difficult trading. Okay, so let's take a look at the macro to the micro. I always start my day with a simple candlestick chart with the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA. I'm looking for slope of separation. I'm looking for where the trend is being challenged or violated. And I start on a monthly, and I work my way down. And I'm looking to see where we are within the trend on the long time frame, or the larger time frame, working my way down. So we had a multi-year, strong trend up, good slope, good separation, end of 15, beginning of 16. They challenged it, then they took it back in March of 16, and then they never looked back. And we had this rising 3 candlestick pattern that we actually talked about while it was setting up, and then we get the continuation, go in and put an all-time high. The month open, I had this, another mistake I made, I don't know, I'm making more mistakes than usual, is when I started my notes in my journal beginning of March, I had the month open at 2364.75, and then somehow between March 8th and March 9th, I transposed it wrong in my journal, and from there I carried it over at 2360.75. The actual March open is 2364.75, which we remain to stay below, but we are getting closer to it as we come into the month end. So far we still have a negative month, but we're not too far off of it right now. But the trend itself doesn't get challenged until we get down into the 2240 area, in the mid 2200s. So the trend is very much intact on the monthly. On the weekly, you can see that we have closed the technical gap. We broke down below the 9 EMA. Now we're back above the 9 EMA. So we've challenged the trend, but we haven't completely violated it until we close below the 9 and work our way down towards the 20. So we're losing a little bit of slope and separation. We are seeing some weakness coming in, but we're also seeing responsive buying stepping in and ripping us for the last 2 days back up into a positive week. Our week open is 2337. Going to the daily, we started this downward trend, and now we're coming back up. We are trying to, we closed just above the 9, and we're trying to hold the 9 right now. So they are violating the start of this downward trend, and we're at a decision point right here on whether or not we hold the 2351 area. And I'm going to talk about this level because that is the swing low from yesterday's closing swing. And if we hold it and move our way back to test the 20 up here at the 23.60, and of course going back towards that 23.64.75 month open. Going to the intraday, you can see that we do have the start of a upward trend going. There is a naked cross right here. It is on the 4-hour time frame, so it's not a real factor yet. But if we do come down and challenge that 41.50 and get below it, the first major target you're targeting is the 23.40 naked cross. Going to the 1 hour. 1 hour, we were trending up again on the 1 hour. There's a naked cross down here at 23.40.50. We just closed below the 9 and the 20, and now we're fighting to get back above it. So we do have the possibility of a start of a downtrend on the 1 hour. Going to the 30-minute, we're basically in a sideways consolidation. No slope to this. We're trying to hold the 9 right now, and there is a naked cross. Didn't quite get taken out right here at 53.75. There's another one down there at 39.75. So there's a lot happening down here. If we don't hold that 51 level, we can start targeting those that 40 and 39 area again. And again, the 40 level is where the microcomposite VPOC is of the value area that we just broke out of on the composite, and I'll show you that in a minute. Going to the 15-minute, we do have a downward slope, but they've taken it back, and now we're above the 9 and the 20. There's a naked cross up here at 54.50. If we hold that 51.50, that's my main target right now to the upside. On the 5-minute, we are kind of going sideways. We have a bit of consolidation going on, but we're above the 9 and the 20. We just are lacking slope, so likely to be a choppy open coming into the RTH session. Taking a look at the bigger picture and start looking at the composite and microcomposites, you can see that the last 6 days, our microcomposite VPOC is at the 40.75, basically in this distribution zone that we talked about being matured and determining fair value. Fair value is being determined at the 41 level. Right now, we're coming up to this 52 area. The 52 is a CLVN. The actual CLVN is 52.75, I believe. 52.75, and the value area high for the last 6 days is 52. Now, just above us is the value area low. This is kind of a no man's land right here, but if we can get above the 52.75, we're outside of the 6-day value. We're above the CLVN. We're back into this distribution zone, and the obstacle we've got to get over is this 54.75, 55 value area low. Inside of that, then I'd be targeting that 59. And that's why I'm targeting that naked cross up here, because if we can just get above this 52.75, then we could come up and take out that naked cross and test the value area low from the longer time frame. And the microcomposite VPOC, or the most traded price, that goes from the 21st through to last Tuesday's breakout day, is up here at 59, and then we're back up into this distribution and looking for continuation to continue to move up, and basically have found our buyers down in the 23.19 for the continuation. Remember, not saying it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, but we still have an unequalized high between the June contract at 23.98 and the March contract at 24.01. And that 24.01, believe it or not, was a weak high. It was a double top on the daily, but it is a blow-off day. So I know I'm covering all my bases because I don't want you to get, right now we're at a decision point for the rest of the week. Call it the hump day, decision day, where we either get the continuation and we continue to move up, or we fail and we roll back into the 6-day balance in this distribution zone. 2 days of trend days, looking for a balanced day. I know I was looking for a balanced day yesterday, and that's what happens. Sometimes the market does things that you're not expecting. But my main hypothesis will be a balanced day, and we could even get stuck in this wick right here and chop between the 48.50 and the 59.25. But let's just take a closer look at it. The key levels here to keep an eye on, of course, is the 52.75, the 55, and then below us the 48.50, and then the 41 area. And you know, if not, then I'm targeting that 39 and that 40 naked cross. There's several of them. So taking a look at the Globex. Globex inventory is neutral. Okay, mostly neutral. We did sell off in the European session, and we've come down to basically chopping around the 52 where our VPOC is. The larger distribution is down here, so we're neutral to slightly negative on overnight inventory. You know, our high overnight is 56.75. Our low overnight is 50. It's only a 6 3/4 point range, so we're back into normal ranges. And you can see we had less OTF participation than we've had. We had a little bit on the open of the European session, but for the most part, we haven't had a lot of OTF participation in the Globex like we've had for the last couple days. So taking a look at our numbers, our overnight high, of course, is 56.75. Which is just below our naked VPOC, which shifted near the close. And then our overnight low so far, again, we still have time. It could go down and make a new low. But right now, our overnight low is 50. And our VPOC is not likely to shift much. It could shift to 51. It's pretty boxy between 52 and 1/4 and 51, but currently right now it's 52. We have our naked close, of course, at the 51.50. And there's a little bit of an LVN right here at 53.50. But of course, I'm going to be watching that 52.75. And then again, we've got a little bit of a problem at the 55. You can see we had a HVN right at that 55 yesterday. All right, and then in terms of information, that's about it for the Globex. So let's just expand this out and start taking a look at our levels. Of course, the 60.50. The value area means nothing to me. It was a trend day, okay? I'm going to be watching the 48.50, 48.75, 48.50 area, and below that, I'll be targeting the first target down here at the mid at 47. There's a thin area that starts from the 46 down to the 42.75. I'm going to be watching the 42.75 because if we get below that, then I'm looking for them to go down to that microcomposite VPOC. At the 40.75. and then we have to watch that 32. And I'm not going to pay attention to the 3350. I'm really going to be paying attention to this 32. And those are my levels that I'm looking at. In terms of the daily ATR, our 20-period daily ATR is running now at 18 and a quarter. So off of the low overnight of 2350 plus 18 and a quarter. Our upside daily ATR target is 2368 and a quarter. And off of the high overnight of 56.75, our downside daily ATR target is 38.50. And just keep in mind that off of the week low of 1775, that our weekly ATR has been breached and challenged with the move up into the 60.50. Above the 60.50, we've got to pay attention to the 63.50. And then, of course, targeting the 67.75. And then 70.50. And then we got our FOMC at 71 and a quarter. 77.75. And this gets moved down to 81 and a quarter. That's really all I need right now. All right. So what is my four main hypotheses? My main hypotheses rate, hypo 1 is going to be an open auction in range. I'm looking for a large rotation on the open as they try to determine fair value from yesterday's upper distribution. A very, very toothy profile. I can think of that word. And I'm looking for a move down towards the 48 area, finding responsive buyers and basically moving up towards that 60.50 and basically chopping around between the 68 and the 48 and just chopping as we mature the auction, okay, and get stuck in this wick right here and chop between the 59 and the 48 area. That's my hypo 1. Hypo 2 is an open auction in range, a push up into the VPOC, get a false breakout or a failure to break out, find responsive sellers, then rotate us back down into the 48, chop around in the 48, and push down into the 40 and close back in balance down in this distribution zone. That's my hypo 2. My hypo 3 is another continuation day, open auction in range, failure to break below 48 or a false break below it, find responsive buyers, push us up into the 60 area, chop around in the 60 area, and then push up, okay, and get a continuation up into the 70s and closing somewhere between the 67.75 and the 74, and getting another continuation day, and basically, almost taking back, okay, all of Tuesdays. We've taken a lot of this back already, and we came back and took out the significant retracement of the breakout, or the 50% of the significant breakout candle. A third continuation day would be a take back and a complete move back up into where it all started. And then hypo 4 is an open auction in range, chop around here, and then push down into the 40 level, and then chop around here with a late date probe down to test the week low down at 32. So those are my four main hypotheses for the ES. Taking a look at gold, gold just starting to rally again, trading 67 on the June contract. Let me clarify that I have rolled over to the June contract as of last night. So we are trading June. So let's take a look at the composite for gold. I mean, the levels don't, the levels change, but the structure doesn't. And we have this 3-day balance, okay, in around this 57 area, and they continue to chop in this area. We are basically playing ping pong between the longer time frame microcomposite VPOC, which is at the 48s, and the prior. Remember that this was our main target on this push up, and now here we have us chopping around it again. This is where sellers have been stepping in. This time up here, if we can hold and accept this price today, then I'm looking for a rally into the end of the week and a push up towards that 64 area and possibly even up into the 70. There's not a lot above us, okay? There's this 62, but the next big destination is all the way up here, gang, in the 1300s, the rule of 10 and the move up into the 1309, 1310 area. So, if we can break out of this balance that we're in and get back into price discovery, I'm looking at a move up into the 7130. Will it happen today? I don't know. We could get another day of balance here, and we could certainly just chop around again. Levels to keep an eye on: 63, 70, 64 area, and I keep an eye on that 53 again. Anything below the 53, look for them to move back into the 50 to 47, 48 area. If they get below the 42.70, then the buyers have taken control, and I'm looking for a bigger move back down towards the 39 and the 33, with ultimately probably coming all the way back down into the 12.18. This is some strong selling that has stepped in the last couple days, but here we are testing it again. So if we can accept price here, then look for the for price discovery to continue. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we will catch you on the flip side.